Hi, Yuba.
Hello, Tamisho. Hi, everybody.
We just thought that maybe we give a minute or two for everyone to be on board.
Of course. Great to see people trickling in. Let me see. Let me put this on. I see some familiar names here.
Hi, Ntiva. I think you muted yourself, so yeah.
Hello, how are you? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ntiva.
Hello.
Good to meet you.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Hi, Hannah.
Good afternoon. Nice
How
to
you
meet
doing?
you. I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm good. I'm good. All right, Yuba, you will indicate if we should start. People will join us while we are running with the show.
Of course, let's get the show on the road. I hear a little bit of a background. Let me see. There we go. Sorry, I used my executive powers and I muted all. My name is Yuba Boshoff and I'm the director for Nuffic South Africa. And it is really wonderful to welcome you to this pre-departure session. This is it now afternoon for most of us. I have the opportunity to say welcome, but I actually want to know who's in the room. So I know that we have colleagues from all over joining us today, grantees being stationed in different parts of the African continent. That's one of the things that we are really excited about being able to do now that we host these pre-departure sessions online, is that we can actually connect all over the continent. So let me see if you can put your camera on. Maybe you can put your camera on. And if you can't put your camera on, just drop it in the chat. Who's joining us from Mozambique? Anybody from Mozambique? Nobody? What happened? Nobody from Mozambique? Okay, let's do that. Who's joining us from Kenya? Akalu, are you there? Am I seeing you? Adira, I'm watching you to see whether you're going to now tell me that today you have transported yourself, teleported yourself home.
Yeah, I think for today I will take the citizenship of being Kenyan.
Okay, all right. We'll allow that. We'll allow that.
All right.
Where else? Who's joining us? Hannah, are you joining us from the Netherlands?
Yes, I am.
Great. And can you maybe tell the
nice
audience
that
where you're
possible,
from?
huh?
Where are you joining us from?
Olita joining from the Netherlands and Jamie.
Yay, fantastic. Olita, Jamie, thank you. Fantastic. So really a gathering. So as you have a moment, let us know in the chat box where you are joining from today. And also let us know where are you going. Eh? We would love to see, and our colleagues and others would like to see, where in the Netherlands are you going to. This is also an opportunity for you to connect with grantees from other African countries, so that when you arrive in the Netherlands, you're not so alone, and that you know, hang on, I met this person in this orientation session and I can now reach out to them. So today is really an opportunity for us to give you a little bit of a preparation for what you can expect when you arrive in the Netherlands, but more so it's also to celebrate that you have been selected for this scholarship and to take part in this program. As Nuffic, we are immensely proud of having so many grantees from South Africa and from our neighboring countries. So as an organization in South Africa, we are also responsible for Mozambique and for Tanzania and for Zimbabwe and for Zambia. And then we have partnered with our two colleagues, Akalu, that is based in Ethiopia, and Nicodem, that is based in Benin, to also say, well, we are also one big continent and we can all connect. So from South Africa and for the OKP and the OTS, I am so proud to announce the number of scholarships that have been granted. So for the OTS, the Orange Tulip Scholarship, 23 candidates from Southern Africa has been granted a scholarship to study at one of the Dutch institutions. The Orange Tulip Scholarship is a scholarship that is specific to a number of countries that is of particular relevance to the Netherlands. And as an office, we have been working on making that a regional scholarship, as we have so many wonderful students with great potential in Southern Africa. So 23. So who's an OTS scholar? Who's been granted OTS that's on the call? Anybody? Tamisha, do you see anybody? Let us know. If you are an OTS scholar, let us know. Then the other group that's joining us today is the Orange Knowledge Program grantees, and again from all over in this last round. And so the Orange Knowledge Program has different rounds of applications, and I'll leave it to Sanayo and Adira to also share with you that there's a new round. So maybe you want to share this opportunity and let some of your friends and fellow staff members know there's a new round. But in this last round, 86 awards were made. And that brings the total number of awards that's made specifically for South Africa and the Southern African region that we are responsible for to close to 500 scholarships. And we are really excited to see that. The other important people joining us on this call today is our fellowship officers from the embassies. I just saw that Wendy posted. Wendy is based in Dar. And she is our scholarship officer for Tanzania and play a very important role in also supporting grantees, both leading up to and once they have actually been granted a scholarship and also beyond. So what is also important is that, yes, you are a grantee, but you're also an alum. And you have seen that Sifiziwe has already posted. She is an alum of the Skill program, one of our predecessor programs. But you're part of our family, of our Dutch alumni family. And unfortunately, it means that you can never get rid of us. The Netherlands is now part of you, and we're one big family. Then I also want to welcome the South African Embassy in The Hague. I've seen Jamie joined, and you've seen Olita already. Both of these colleagues have been immensely supportive in helping us run these programs and making sure that these are truly bilateral programs where we represent South Africa, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Tanzania, various African countries and the relations and building with the Netherlands. So thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. My colleagues will take you through the various presentations and please make sure that you stay in touch. There's one more thing, and unfortunately, as much as we are celebrating today that you are traveling to the Netherlands, we also want to use this opportunity to celebrate the life of one of our former grantees. One of our grantees from Zambia unfortunately passed away during her studies in the Netherlands, and we want to use this time to also celebrate the life of Felani Ntambo. She passed away in Geneva. And what we know about her time in Geneva is that everybody that joined her said that she was like the mother of the group. Her dream was to pursue her studies in public health. She was based at the public health clinic in Chapata. And today we really want to also celebrate her life. She leaves behind a young boy. And we hope that one day he will follow in his mum's footsteps to also pursue his studies in the Netherlands. Adira, I think you put up a slide. So when you pursue these studies, also think of Felani and her journey and the ambassador that she was for public health in Zambia. So Tamishu, over to you and the colleagues. And again, from my side, there you can see Felani happy, 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 pursuing her studies. And her memory and legacy will certainly also live on and have been honored by the Zambian Alumni Association. And from my side, I wish you well. I have one challenge for you as grantees, and that is to make sure that you share your stories with us. It's not only about today. This is the first step. We want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly of your studies in the Netherlands. So know that you have a group of people in South Africa that is supporting you and that is ready to hear about the good times about your successes so that we can celebrate it with you, about the days that you feel alone. So that's also why today is important, so that you can see that there are other Africans that you can reach out to and say, today I miss the sunshine of the African continent, because there will be many days when it is dreary in the Netherlands, unfortunately, and not as sunny as where I am now. I am in Durban today. But really, please share your stories with us on our social media channels. And it's not only for this journey. As I've said to you, you are not going to get rid of us. You are now forever part of this family of Dutch alum, and we look forward to share this journey with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yuba. We appreciate your warm words, and condolences to the family of Faela in Zambia, and we're really saddened about that. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 2022 pre-departure information session. My name is Timisho Masheho. I am the I'm the Education Promotions and Alumni Officer for Nuffic South Africa, and I'll be joined throughout this session by my two colleagues, Adira Kachinga for OKP, and also Country Manager for OKP, which is Sinayo Serenya. So they'll be with us throughout the session. So please just be part of the conversation, engage, participate. Let's make it a conversation, more of a one-way information session. So engage with us however you know how. Ask questions. We are here to try our best to answer all the questions that you may have. We have Olita from the Embassy of South Africa in the Netherlands, who will also be available for you to ask any questions that you may want to know about what are the processes, what you need to know about the utilization of the embassies of your different countries when you are in the Netherlands for your duration of your studies. And also we are joined by Hannah from the University of Twente, who's going to share also some insights into the campus life for international students while staying in the Netherlands, and just to give you necessary information that you might want to know about when you embark in your studies in the Netherlands. So also not forgetting Sifeziwe, our Dutch alum, who's going to share some information about her experiences and studies while in the Netherlands. So looking forward to this interaction, and hopefully it's going to be a very, very a good one. And at the end of the day, we all will walk away with some good information that we can use going forward. So without wasting no time, I'm going to share my screen with you guys so that you see what we exactly talking about. So as I already said, my name is Timisho Masheho. I'm the Education Promotion Officer for Nuffic South Africa. So my portfolio mainly deals with study in Holland, which encompasses Orange Tulip Scholarship that mainly targets for SADC students. And SADC is made up of about 16 countries, which you already know. So as Yuba already mentioned, this year, about 23 students got granted the Orange Tulip Scholarship to study in the Netherlands from different universities across the Netherlands. So congratulations to all the OTS grantees, and I wish you all success in your studies. So just to touch base on some of the things that you need to prepare before you embark on your studies, we just try to show you on the kind of paperwork to prepare. Some of you guys have already been to the Netherlands and you know exactly what's needed to be done, but some of you may not have been to the Netherlands before. So just for you to prepare yourself before departure, here are some of the things that you need to make sure that they are readily before your departure. First is going to be your valid passport, your visa, and your legalized birth certificate. I'm not going to go into details in some of the things, but then we'll share some of the links that you may find very useful and research on to see, to equip yourself more. And I believe that most of you have already received the scholarship letter that you received from the university. Can be OKP awarding letter or OTS awarding letter. So you must make sure that you have that letter ready before you depart for Netherlands. The confirmation of bank account, where the money is going to be deposited. Should the money be deposited to your account for your studies, depending. Some people already got their confirmations, but rather the confirmation of the study fees paid to the university directly. So one of the things that you must also have is bank transfer statement of tuition fees, and also the admission letter or the tuition fee receipt. And also one of the most important things that you must get prepared before embarking into the Netherlands is medical insurance. This is most important, and my colleague Scenario will touch base on this topic of medical insurance. And legalized marriage certificate. If you are a married person, you must make sure that you produce your legalized marriage certificate before traveling to the Netherlands. You must also have a copy of your passport and plane tickets. Obviously, if you're going to fly to the Netherlands, you must have your plane tickets. And this is not sponsored by Nuffic. This is only coming from the pocket, depending on the structure of your scholarship. I'm not really particularly sure of how OKP works, but I'm definitely sure that in OTS, we do not sponsor plane tickets. So this is per grantee. You have to pay from your own pocket for plane tickets. And also, you need to have money to survive for your first week, for your second week while in the Netherlands. You need to have certified copies of your certificates that you have already possessed from your country, from your university that you previously studied at. Evidence that you have enough cash to stay in the Netherlands. This also relates with having the money to sustain you for first week or second week of your stay in the Netherlands before you can receive your scholarship monies. And also, you must make sure that you finalize your housing contract. This is mainly between you and the university that you're going to attend with. So you must communicate directly with the university to sort out the accommodation. If you're going to stay in a school in the university residential, you must make sure that you communicate with the universities to make sure that you've got all the housing available for you for your stay in the Netherlands. And you make sure that you have the address of the institution, the telephone number of the contact person that you liaise with the university. And this one mainly speaks about the visa. So VRR is basically the resident permit visa that purposely for a longer stay in the Netherlands. So this mainly will apply for the students that are going to study in the Netherlands for a duration of 4 years for your undergraduate programs, or 2 years for your postgraduate programs, maybe MBA or master's programs. And then the MVV is the provisional residence, which mainly it's suitable for people who are going to have a shorter stay in the Netherlands, a period of 90 days. A period of 90 days or 3 months applies for this kind of visa. So depending on the kind of scholarship that you have received, mostly the students have received OKP who are going to study in the Netherlands for a period of 2 weeks for short courses mainly, they will receive an MVV visa for a shorter stay. And also an authorization to travel into the Netherlands. So this is a letter that you will receive from the university when they offer you the scholarship that you must use as an authorization to travel to the Netherlands. This will also play hand in hand with the contact person that you must enlist, who is going to, who can be in contact when they make the authorization of your travel to the Netherlands. And lastly, it should be your Dutch higher education institution that you liaise with for the sake of the Dutch Immigration Services regarding a residence permit. So this one, it's actually going to be the authorities in the Netherlands that are going to liaise with the university to make sure that you have the residential area where you're going to stay for your duration of your studies in the Netherlands. So this is going to be between your university and the authorities in the Netherlands. So just on the last slide, this one is mostly about the MVV visa that I already spoke about, staying less than 90 days. Depending on your nationality, you need a short stay visa. With this visa, you are free to travel within a selection of 26 countries in Europe. And staying longer than 90 days, depending on your nationality, an entry visa is needed for all non-EU and nationalities. A resident permit is required. So for those who are going to stay more than 90 days, you are going to need to have yourself let me just go back to, hold on, the VRR visa. That's going to allow you to stay for a longer stay, depending on the structure of your studies. So that means that if you're going to study for a 4-year degree, for example, you're going to need a VVR visa permit. So this is exactly what it's talking about, that staying longer than 90 days. So I will leave this one here for anyone who has a question regarding the visas and also the paperwork to prepare. You can pose your questions on our chats. I will deal with it right after I give an opportunity for my colleague Scenario to talk more about the insurances, different insurances that you can look up for while you're staying in the Netherlands. Thank you.
Thanks, Tumisho. Good day, everyone. My name is Sinayo Sehenya, as Tumisho introduced me earlier on, and I work here as well at the Nuffic South Africa, Southern Africa office, as country manager for the Orange Knowledge Program. So yeah, a lot of you today are grantees of the Orange Knowledge Program, and congratulations on that, and we look forward to welcoming you into our network of grantees and then eventually the alumni when you graduate. So yes, as Tumisho said, I'll cover the next part of the presentation, which will touch on insurance and the different types of insurance you should get, and then what to do upon arrival. And then thereafter, I will hand over to my colleague Adera, who will continue with the last part of the presentation. So on insurance, there are a number of different types of insurance covers that you could explore, and you would need to do research in terms of which one is applicable to you. I think one of the most important things at this stage because none of you have departed yet for the Netherlands, it's really important that you have regular contact with your contact points at the university, with your focal points at the university where you'll be studying, as well as your scholarship provider, because they will be able to provide with further information and more detailed information on the different types of insurance cover which you should get for your stay there. But one of the most important ones, as Tumisho also mentioned earlier, is healthcare insurance, so your medical coverage. That would be important to get, and the different types of insurance you need would depend on your situation and the reason for your stay in the Netherlands. We've put a link here, which after this presentation, we will share this PowerPoint with you, and you're welcome to follow this link, and you'll be directed to a website of the government of the Netherlands, which offers you further information on the different types of insurance cover that you would need to take out before your studies. Some of the different types of insurance as examples are liability insurance, in case if you happen to be involved in an accident and someone is injured, or if you've damaged somebody's property. In certain instances such as these, you might be responsible for paying for the costs of the accident. There's also repatriation insurance. In the unfortunate event, should you become deceased while in the Netherlands or ill, or one of those reasons, and you would need to be repatriated to your home country. It's important that this is also falls within the insurance that you've taken up. So that's really important that some sort of repatriation insurance is also part of the insurance that you will be taking out. And then there's also household contents insurance, and this would cover the contents of your home against loss due to instances such as theft, fire, or water damage. So just in sum, the type of insurance that you'd need to take out would be different for all of you. And it really depends on your personal situation and why you'll be in the Netherlands and the duration of your studies. But really important, please liaise with the international office at your university as well as your scholarship provider to offer you further information on insurance cover. And then upon arrival at Amsterdam Schiphol Airport, you will of course go through passport control. When you're there, immigration, so just make sure to have all of those important documents, which Tumisho mentioned earlier, on hand: your passport, visa, admission letter, return tickets, evidence of financial support, scholarship award letter. You're welcome to get in touch with us also here at our offices should you have any queries related to your visa application or any questions or anything that you're uncertain of regarding the visa application process. Please apply for that long in advance. But if you are unsure of anything, welcome to get in touch with us about the visa application. Of course, your luggage, need to get that picked up, and just arrange also in advance your transport. But if not, I mean, there's a lot of options for use of public transport while you're there to get to your destination, and all of that information is available at the airports. And we've put a link here as well to a website which you can check for further information on train schedules and public transports in the Netherlands. And then some more on just some important things and tips, advice to do upon arrival. Register at the international office of your university, and they will assist you with registering with the municipality and registering with immigration and naturalization services for picking up of your residence permits. So really important to register at the international office of your university and to engage with them now before departing as well, to ensure that you have everything on hand and all the right documents. COVID-19 protocols, check at the airport, but also we are happy to send you links as well to websites of the government of the Netherlands for further information on the current COVID-19 policies and what that would entail for you before travels. Open a Dutch bank account, that's really important as well for the duration of your stay. And then don't forget to register as well with your embassy in the Netherlands. Welcome to get in touch with them before your studies, but especially once you're there in the Netherlands, inform the embassy of your home country that you are an international student in the Netherlands and establish that relationship with the embassy in the Netherlands. Thank you. I think that's it from my side. I'll now pass on to my colleague Adera Kachienga, who will take over with the last part of the presentation.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Adera Kachienga, and I'm the project officer for OKP, the Orange Knowledge Program. First of all, congratulations to all our recipients. I know this will be an exciting and new journey for all of you. So thank you once again for joining us. So I'll now deal with the next part of our presentation, and this is part-time jobs. I know a lot of you might want to work in the Netherlands, and obviously there's certain criteria and procedures that need to be followed, if you decide to work in the Netherlands. So if you're from the EU, which is the European Union, or EEA, or Switzerland, you are free to work without restrictions. Obviously, our recipients here are from Africa, so obviously there'll be certain restrictions that will be applied. So if you're from other countries, some restrictions, if you want to take a job beside your studies, you would need a work permit, which is known as a TWV, and you can work for a maximum of 16 hours a week. Or instead, there's an option of you working full-time during the summer months of June, July, and August. You also need to take note that your employer needs to apply for the TWV. So if you decide to do a part-time job in the Netherlands, please make sure that your employer is aware of that and follows the certain procedures. So obviously there's a toolkit that we've included in the presentation, and you can click on that, and this will guide you through the official procedures. And this is a toolkit that you can also share with your employer. Also, there's very important information or useful information in the Study in Holland link website. So I think, you know, if you want to know more information about, you know, what you would need to know in the Netherlands, would be beneficial that you just, you know, take some time and peruse at the Study in Holland website. So our next slide. So one of the important things is that, you know, when you're studying in the Netherlands, obviously you're far away from home, you're far away from your family and friends. So, you know, for us, we think it's important, and this is a suggestion we're putting forward to you guys, is that you get together with other students, you know, make the time to get to know students from other countries, you know, and that can mean, you know, having just an international dinner with them, you know, going out to them, maybe, you know, going to a restaurant or a cinema or whatsoever. I think that's an important thing that you can do. Also, I know with a lot of universities, or institutions rather, they do have an international office at this institution. So you can definitely, you know, liaise with the international office, and they can also link you with other recipients from your respective countries. So, you know, at least you have a few people, a few friends that you can, you know, spend some quality time with. And then one other thing is just to make sure that, I don't know, some with you in terms of your living arrangements, you know, you might be sharing a certain space, and it's important, you know, that you kind of adhere to the rules and standards of sharing a shared space. So, you know, just it's just basic to take into consideration that, you know, if you're sharing a space, that, you know, you clean up after yourself when you're done, and if that entails, you know, cleaning and doing the dishes, please take that into consideration. Another thing is also, because you're going to be in a different country, there are different cultural customs and practices. So obviously it's making sure that you respect that. I think we're all aware that we come from different backgrounds and different cultures, and certain things or certain engagements will be done in a different manner. So if, you know, you get into encounters where you're engaging with a cultural custom that is new to you, you know, it's always important to kind of respect that and take that into consideration, that you're dealing with people from different backgrounds and different cultural backgrounds. And another important thing is also to try to get engaged in activities with other students in your institution. Like I mentioned earlier, it's important, or we would encourage you to, you know, engage with other students within your institution and try and engage in activities, whether it's an international day for students at the university. I think it's important that you engage with that, and it's also a good way of getting to meet other people. We know that also when you're away from home and you're away from family and, you know, comfort of your country, you know, it can sometimes have an impact on your mental well-being. So we strongly encourage that you do not hesitate to seek help with a student counselor or a relevant persons. So please be free to, you know, reach out to your contact person at the institution, and they will be more than willing to direct you to the right persons or organization. And then also we are well aware that, you know, monkeypox has arisen across Europe, and we've also provided a link there that kind of just gives you the stats of what monkeypox is. And obviously there's a link also on the government website of the Royal Kingdom of the Netherlands. You can definitely take a look at that and kind of just see what restrictions have been put in place or what guidelines that one needs to follow. And I think also another thing is that's quite important. You're more than welcome to share your experience on social media. As a Study in Holland student, we would really like to know from your end, whether it's through Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, just kind of, tell us your experience of what you're experiencing in the Netherlands. And yeah, I would appreciate that if you could share your experiences with other people, but also use social media as a tool to do that. So once again, I would reiterate, if you have further questions, you're more than welcome to contact Tumisho, Sinayo, or myself. But most importantly, you can go to the Study in Holland website and please speak to your contact person at the university or at the institution that you are placed in.
Thank you so much, Adira. Thank you so much for this information. We'll take this opportunity to introduce Mrs. Hannah Dickenbach from University of Twente, who will share some information with regards to some information that you guys will need to know as an international student studying away from your home. So I think she'll just give you a practical, look into how is it like, what kind of support can a university gives you as an international student. Hi, Hannah. Are you ready? Can I give you the floor?
Yes, thank you very much. Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon. First of all, congratulations to all of you, and also thank you for inviting me. I also prepared a preparation, so I will start with sharing my screen. One moment, please. Okay, so yeah, my name is Hannah, and I work at the University of Twente in Enschede in the east of the Netherlands. I'm not sure if any one of you or whom of you might come to us to study after summer, but I think several of the things that I will tell apply to all the Netherlands, and I will try to give you some tips. They are also based on my own experience, as I came here several years back as an international master's student for my studies. I'm from Germany. And yeah, I really like the life in the Netherlands a lot. And I was lucky finding a job at the university after I graduated. And yeah, by this, I warmly want to welcome you to come to the Netherlands this summer. What can you expect when you choose to study in the Netherlands? What can you expect upon arrival? I think several things have already also been mentioned. And I think overall, to start with, the Netherlands is a very welcoming space. It's one of the safest countries in the world. It's also in the top 5 happiest countries worldwide. So I hope that you will also be lucky to experience that when you come here. It was mentioned, and I really would like to highlight that again. Seek for community, seek for people. That will make it way easier to get acquainted with the culture, to find friends, and that shouldn't be too difficult if you're open for that. Well, in this case, I speak now specifically for our university, but we have a very international community. So there are students from all around the world that come together in associations for events to have fun together, but also to help each other out. And the individual study programs, for example, have study associations where students come together to support each other with their studies and to make a connection with the lecturers to improve the education. There are sport associations, cultural associations based on your interest. And I would really recommend you to make use of these opportunities to get to know people from with similar interests that you can become friends with, that you can have dinner with, that you can reach out to if you run into any difficulties, or of course just to have fun. As you probably know, there's a wide range of English programs, and you will find your way with English, absolutely. at least the University of Twente is also offering language courses. So if you like to, it always helps like to know some words, some phrases, to warm up with the Dutch people. And something I noticed, that if you show like efforts to integrate, be open into the other cultures, yeah, it opens doors to get a start, to get to know each other. For the University of Twente, we are really big campus universities. There are other universities in the Netherlands that are organized a bit similar, but also somewhere like facilities are spread over the cities. Yeah, probably there will be like introduction days. We have, for example, introduction week in August. I highly recommend, if you haven't booked your flight yet, to check that out. So to make sure that you come on time, that you can take part in that. There will be campus tours, people guiding you around to know, so that you know how to find your way. On our campus, we have the study facilities, the laboratories that students can make use of for free. Yeah, via those campus tours, and by getting connected with other students, you will figure out of all the options that you have to make use of. Well, what I already mentioned, other associations. So we have here also sport fields. You might see some of them. There's a theater where students come together. So yeah, just think about what are you interested in. Maybe Google, ask other people, make use in the introduction weeks to try out things. Associations often have like a tryout day, or that the first weeks you can join and figure out which association you might like. And at least at the University of Twente, it's very common that students become part of such a community. And there, yeah, you will find friends that are maybe also outside of your study program. So to increase your network and to make friends. Also here, the first weeks might be quite overwhelming. It's a different culture, different environment, different weather. I think that was already mentioned. At the moment, it's super sunny and we have a nice summer. But of course, there are also rainy days. Yeah, so when you arrive here, you will figure those things out, but it might be a bit challenging in the beginning. And yeah, please give yourself the time to get familiar with it. Accept that maybe not everything runs as smooth as you would hope to, but also take the time to mingle with people. And I would recommend not to like first do all the practicalities and then think about meeting people. Try to squeeze that in a bit so that you start building a network, people you can get in contact with. I think all you with each other as well. Maybe you're not in the same city, but the Netherlands is not that big. So I think by train, by 2, 3, 4 hours, you can cross the whole country. And yeah, so you can also catch up with each other. Let me see about housing. I think, I don't know if all of you already found housing. In this, I don't know how the other universities arrange that specifically. Our prospective students received an offer. So depending on where you are in the process, you might have received this email already, that within our housing platform RoomSpot, you receive a special offer. And I highly advise you to accept this offer so that you have furnished housing for your first year. And after the first year, you will be asked to find something yourself, which will be way easier after you've stayed here for a year and you know people and to find your way around. I highly advise you to accept this offer so that you don't have to search by yourself at this point. If there are questions about that, I'm happy to answer them later. And yeah, what kind of services can you expect? Of course, that depends on the university you're going to, but it will be similar. So for international students, we have an housing department to support you there with your questions. Well, insurance was covered. Then the introduction days I just mentioned, you can see some pictures here at the University of Twente. They're called the kick-in, taking place at the end of August, so right before your studies start. And this is also a moment to meet fellow students and to make first friends. So here, I recommend to join. And if you go to another institution, check out, in case you haven't seen it yet, if they also have these introduction days. When there are, sometimes there are also online alternatives in case students are not around yet, that they can join some practical sessions online already. So just have a look there. Then Dutch classes, if applicable or if needed. Then we offer a buddy program so that you can get connected with another student that can show you around. And then maybe next year you like to become a buddy yourself. So there are a lot of internationals that benefited from it and that help them to get acquainted with the Netherlands, and then they like to share that with new students like you when you come newly to the Netherlands. We also have an international Facebook group for University of Twente that might apply to other universities as well. Just have a look at their contact pages online for internationals. So there are groups where students maybe also upfront check in with each other, or where while you're here, there are events announced. So so that you can get in contact with them, and also while you're here that you know about things that maybe come up. So for example, we have throughout the year festivals on campus, but there are also workshops that are cross-disciplinary for different studies and shared working spaces. We also have, for example, student teams, and other universities have those as well, like students from different disciplines working on a solar car or on an electric superbike, and they compete with the other institutions once a year. So if you're interested in becoming active in any association or student team like this, well, once you arrive, you will receive those information about those opportunities. But keep your eyes open. Now you've heard about it, to also maybe gain extra experiences that will also maybe support you afterwards to find a job. And I also like to highlight what was mentioned before about the support that you can get. So studying can be challenging, but also living in another country can be challenging. There can be various reasons. Know that there are people you can go to. In our case, they are the study advisors. They will always help with whatever you might encounter, bring you in contact with the right person. So that was important to me for me to mention. And I think to close it off with personal experience, I really enjoyed being a student here, and I think it was because of this international environment that you meet people from all around the world, and everyone is, from my experience, was very welcoming. And I went to a lot of different events from students from all kind of different backgrounds, and tried fruit from all around the world, and dancing, and so it is a new experience, and I wish you there a really good start in September, and I'm very happy to answer afterwards any questions if there are. I hope this gave you a first quick insight in what you can expect. Thank you.
Thanks, Hannah. Thank you so much for the presentation. But just a quick question with regards to housing. What is the process for someone who's new in the Netherlands, coming from the SADC region? What is like the process of applying for accommodation? Because I believe that in the Netherlands, already accommodation for international students is very scarce. So what should the students, like the steps that they should take in a space where they're looking to stay within the campus?
So for our institution, we have a central housing website, RoomSpot, where it shortly shows the logo. Maybe the one or other recognizes that. And we offer we have a special offer for incoming visa students that they so they register in room spot, and then once the financial part is handled, they will see this room for their first year. So we offer visa students a furnished room for 1 year, and I highly recommend to accept this room if it's within your within your budget, as it's way easier that you just arrive, you have this room arranged for the first year, and then once you're here, you can start searching for something else. I'm not fully sure how the process works for other universities and how far they also have such an offer for visa students. But there are like several official housing platforms in the Netherlands where you can look for a room. I would recommend to have a look at the housing website of your institution, which ones they recommend, and to make use of the official ones. As there's, of course, also, especially if you search maybe via Facebook or so, there might be also some scams there. So if something looks too good and is too cheap, then be careful and make sure to like never transfer money upfront before things are settled. So yeah, there are also several tips. Maybe I will look afterwards for a link from our institution with tips how to find housing, where there are also tips like how to detect scammers to be on the safe side.
Right. No, thank you so much, Anna. Yeah, it will be very useful if you can share with us those links so that the students can be able to look up to and then be able to, familiarize themselves with how it goes, where to find such information and how to find suitable and very safe housing. All right. I'm going to give this opportunity to Sive Siwe. She's our Dutch alum from ISS Erasmus. So, Sive, the floor is yours if you're ready.
Thank you so much, Tumisho. Let me just find my presentation. I have it here with me. And let me begin by also congratulating the recipients of the scholarships. Guys, you're going to have a wonderful time. You are absolutely going to enjoy yourselves there. And let me see, all right. And there's just so much to do. Just give me the heads up if you can see my presentation.
We can.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I got to the Netherlands in 2014. It was on the 13th of January, a very cold morning when we arrived in Amsterdam at Schiphol Airport. This is a picture of me there. I was there for a duration of 3 months. At that time, I was based in Cape Town at the University of the Western Cape, so I went for the short exchange. And I won't lie, I was absolutely thrilled. I'm an extrovert, so I'm very excited to meet people. I'm very excited to see new places. And it was my first trip in Europe. So you can just imagine how thrilled I was. This is a picture I took of just outside the Institute of Social Studies that's in The Hague. All right. So one of the things is I'm going to just briefly speak. I'm not going into anything technical. Thank God Adira told me that I do not have to. I was panicking, I said to her, now I must find the visa information, and the letters of invitation and all that. So she was like, no. That we are covering that, all those technical aspects. So the culture is completely different in the Netherlands in comparison to South Africa. But it's also, the country is highly developed. So that would be a very welcome experience for most of you guys. I'm speaking from an information where I grew up in a township community in Delft. Then I lived in Zambia as a child. I've traveled to Zimbabwe, I've traveled to Rwanda. So it's not what you'd expect in terms of the technology is very good, the transport system. There's a point there I mentioned that there's a large variety of bread and cheese which I'd ever seen in my life. So those are some of the things which you might find shocking. I mean, even I remember the expiry date of the bread would be like a year from the time the shelf life is fairly long, So those are things which you will see. The internet was fantastic. In comparison to where our broadband was in South Africa at that time. The safety aspect I absolutely appreciated, but it doesn't mean be foolish just because it's a safe country, you know. So I'm one person who I went clubbing whenever, you know, I had a chance, you know, outside of my studies. And then it's very peaceful, it's very silent. If the transport systems are efficient, which means you also have to be efficient, you have to manage your time. Everything is orderly. The country is very clean, so you also have to keep it clean. If there's anyone from Rwanda here, it's just as clean. Great tea selections at the supermarket. You will appreciate that if you like trying things. Lots of canals. So guys, do not fall in. Do not walk home drunk if you are drinking. Do not look where you're going at night. And then also lots of bicycles. Right. Of course, if you're South African, you would know that there's no load shedding in the Netherlands. So please, when you come back with sustainable solutions to this problem we're currently having. All right, now what do you need to bring with yourself outside of the technical stuff, outside of the visa, your passport, a bit of cash? You have to have an open mind. You have to have a sense of adventure, and you have to be expectant. And you also need to bring with you a great attitude, you know, because like Hannah said now, you will meet a lot of people. You will meet international students. You will meet the locals there. So you have to also just have that bit of openness. All right, here's a picture of the strop waffles. This is something you guys are going to discover for yourselves when you go there. Feel free to try out the food. Now, here are some tips which I'm going to have for you guys. Right. So you must take your time to acclimatize to your environment, but not to your studies. Your studies, you must get there and be focused. Remember, you're going there for your studies and not necessarily a culture experience, right? Find your circle, but also meet new people. So find people with similarities with you. If you are, let's say, from an Islamic country, you are halal, try and find people who say, okay, shop there, you know, do this and do that, you know. Try new things, but if they go against your beliefs or your values, then do not partake in them, you see. So remember, I mentioned I went clubbing, you know, I went to the coffee shops. But if that goes against your values, don't be like, oh, I'm here, I want to try this out. Don't lose yourself in all these experiences because you're just trying out everything, right? You will miss home, and that is okay, right? You miss the sounds, you miss your pillows. That's okay. So keep in touch with your loved ones. All right, here is this is the view from my room on my right-hand side. I took this with a BlackBerry, guys. So if the picture is not great, forgive me. That's the King's Palace. And then this is the front picture of that. And then making friends and networking and socializing, please be open to that. On my right hand, we had a field trip to Cologne that was organized by the institution. We just, I think, had to contribute towards the transport. On the other hand, these are people who came on the program with me. I actually met them there and I was very excited. The one with the, let me see, the second one in the gray. Yeah, that's me there. So this was our welcome night. The welcoming committee threw us a little party and it was so nice. We met the other students there at the residence. You know, we got to know people, exchanged numbers, people gave us tips, use this SIM card and not that one, use this data, eat here, shop there, you know. So that's why it's important that you make friends, you know. And then there's activities on campus. You see, this was the one on the Valentine's Day was organized by the social committee, and the one was organized by the students from Asia. It was a color, and it was the first time I ever partook in one. I was like, hey, let's do it, you know. I just wanted to know if the paint was going to get out of my hair, and they were like, yeah. So you see, that kind of thing. Getting around in the Netherlands, bicycles, walking, trams, trains, that's how you get around. So if you don't know how to ride a bike, I suggest you learn. I couldn't ride a bike, still can't. So I walked a lot, but also the safety part of it and wanting to see everything. Remember, I'm there for 3 months, so I had to see as much as I could. So I was happy to walk. You'd say to me, oh, it's a 40 minutes walk. I'm like, let's go, you know, but you can take the trams, you can take the trains, you can take the buses. And yeah, okay. And then be frugal, but don't be cheap. So you can buy your food at the market, like an open market, you know, meat, vegetables, fruit, or you can go to the supermarket if you like convenience. The supermarket Albert Heijn, I would say it's like Woolworths or Checkers in South Africa, in terms of these things which are very nicely processed, chopped onions for you, chopped cabbage, or you can go to the market and then you get your fresh organic stuff and you support the local economy, I suppose. There are other shops, but for me, this was where I kind of gravitated towards either this one or that. And they were walking distance from where I stayed. All right. There was a place called Havana. You see, I used that little line from that song in the Hague. It was a good spot for us. You know, we always got vouchers to return. If you want a nice strong drink, always tip the bartender. Then she'll add more alcohol for you. If you don't drink, ignore this. Ignore this. All right. This was the first night there as well. I just met all these people except the person sitting next to me, Amron. But the two, one was from the States and the other lady, Zuleka, was from Durban. So we met there and then we're like, okay, let's go out, guys. Then we had some drinks and we got talking. Again, immerse yourself, see the place. This is me and this is little Jan. It's a little statue there close to the Dutch Parliament. So I would just stroll around the neighborhood, you know, and yeah. And if there's nothing, if no one is going somewhere, like I would tag along or I would just walk around, take this route there, you know, take different roads and just see the city around me because there was a lot to see as well. And of course, this was not expensive. This was free for me to just walk around and see. Now, try or not, these were the beers from the welcoming night. This is the coffee shop. So you see, like when you go to KFC and you order off the menu, that's how the inside of a coffee shop looks like. That was a complete culture shock to me because marijuana was illegal in South Africa. You know, I won't say if I tried it or I didn't. You guys will leave it up to yourselves. I think my time is almost done. A few tips: go and live your best life, guys. Immerse yourself in the journey, grab your future with both hands, get the good marks, you know, get to know your lecturers because they will need to write you a letter of recommendation. I had one from Professor Hensch's, you know, I needed to apply for something else and she wrote me a letter of motivation. Observe, ask, and be, you know, you already have a lot going on for you. The fact that you got the scholarship means that you have something to offer. So be yourself, you know, and build from where you are because you have a solid foundation. And then do not lose sight of why you are there because you are there to obtain these qualifications, you know. Even though everything else exists, we are social beings, we are supposed to be part of experiences, but come back with your qualifications, come back cum laude, summa cum laude, magna cum laude. You know, I'm a lecturer, by the way. That's why I'm saying do not lose focus of why you are there, right? And I think that's all from me. You are free to ask me questions on anything, and I'll be happy to respond. I'll put my email there in the discussion. Thank you so much. Commissioner, we can't hear you.
I'm sorry about that. I was not aware that I'm muted. I was saying that, you know, thank you, Sive. And look, the experiences that you had there, I'm just putting out there that they were solely yours, and you know, you must never get judged. The beers, the partying, hey, as long as you came back with your results, passed and everything, that's what's important. All right. Just before anyone who has a question, let's just hug them a little bit because we already past our time. I just want to give this opportunity to Ms. Olita Libelo from the Embassy of South Africa in the Netherlands, based in The Hague, so that she can just give us a brief, you know, insight on the works of the embassy and the support that, you know, the embassies offers to the international students. So if you're ready, Mrs. Olita, over to you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks very much to Misho for the invite and to Huba and the team. I'm just going to be very brief. I think most of the things been done, and specifically I'll be talking to South African students because that's when we are responsible as the embassy. We are not responsible for the whole of the SADC. I think with the SADC region is only South Africa and Tanzania represented, and the rest are in Brussels, which is Belgium. So we have limited capacity, but we only focus on South African students here. What we do mostly as the embassy for our students coming to study in the Netherlands, we receive them. They register themselves with the embassy. They can communicate with us. You can provide them with our emails, myself and Jamian. And then they register with us. If we have the student activities, they get to invite it, or other activities of the embassy, they get to be invited. And also in case of consular need, where you lose your passport or something that is related to your immigration, you contact the embassy, then we can be able to talk to the authorities in case you lose your passport. In case you want to travel on emergency and you may have some challenges with your documentation, you contact us, and then we can assist with the authorities. And also, mostly, let us know where you live, let us know where you're studying. You will never know what happened, where you are. I know that mostly Nuffic take care of students that they are into their programs, but also we also want to hear from you if there is any kind of need, or maybe you're sick, you wanted your family to be contacted and so forth. That is where we are. And also, just to put on record, we'll be hosting a South African Netherlands student forum or dialogue. For all the South African students you are invited. Is on the 17th of September. In Amsterdam, we will distribute all the logistics to the event, and we are hoping to see you there to share more experiences. It's an information sharing experience platform where we talk about challenges of studying and also issues beyond studies regarding work and skills development and so forth. So you'll be more welcome to join us. And we are looking forward to receive you in the Netherlands, and we will have more engagement with Huba about your movement. And we hope to see you. Don't just come into the Netherlands and disappear in the small country. It's too small, we'll get hold of you. It's the size of Gauteng, but we hope to see you, all of you guys here. Travel safe, and let us know should you have any challenges. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Olita. Look, guys, we invited Olita because we understand that, you know, from a perspective of someone who's in the embassy, you know, it may apply to South African students, but you know, you must take into consideration that, you know, with your embassy in the Netherlands, you can, as she already alluded, that, you know, you must get in contact with your embassy, you know, make sure that they know where you stay, so that, because you never know what will happen, you know. So I think it's important that, you know, you keep in touch as soon as you are in the Netherlands, you keep in touch with the embassy, and then also make arrangements with them, meet them, get to know them, and just ask questions about what should happen, should certain things happen to you while you're in the Netherlands. So right now, I think it's fair that we open this opportunity for anyone who has a question. And I believe that Olita is still here, and Hannah is still here, and Sivesi is still here. So you can ask them any question that you may have, you know, and I hope that they'll do their best to answer you. So you can just raise your hand, and then we take it from there. Well, and if there is no questions whatsoever, you are free to send us an email. Okay. David, you can ask your question.
Hello, Tumiso. Thank you so much. My question is, can you give us more information on the OKP scholarship?
Okay,
because
so
you didn't touch on that, you could touch on the OTS.
Okay, yeah.
Thank
so
you.
I believe that my colleague Sinayo can handle this one. Sinayo?
Yes, definitely. Nteve, are you an OKP grantee?
Yes, I'm an OKP.
Oh, wonderful. From South Africa.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm from
great.
Cape Town, actually. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So yes, with OKP, I'm not quite sure, since you're already a grantee, I think you would be aware of, what the Orange Knowledge Program is about. So it's a global capacity development program. The scholarship offers scholarships for short courses and masters to study in the Netherlands under a priority theme, whether it's water, food and nutrition security, energy, climate, sexual and reproductive health rights and security and rule of law. So it's a really good scholarship in that it's almost basically fully funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Netherlands. And yes, we are nearing the end of the Orange Knowledge Program. So as Hubert stated in the beginning of the webinar, we will just have one last upcoming call for applications for anybody interested in an OKP scholarship, which will open on the 31st of August this year for a period of about 6 weeks. So please spread that amongst your networks as well, but also email us if you'd like to give some more information to pass on to others on the Orange Knowledge Program. Dev, is there anything else in particular you wanted to know about OKP? Hopefully you are already in touch with somebody from the scholarship provider as well as the university.
No, I just got the award letter, but I just want to know about the plane ticket and the visa. Are they going to be covered?
Yes, those are covered within the scholarship. If it's not included in it should be in the award letter, but I mean, if it's not there, please then contact whoever it was, from Nuffic, that our scholarship, because the scholarships are administered from our office in the Netherlands in terms of the grants and the contracts. So please get in touch with our colleague that was in touch with you with the grant letter to ask for further information on flights and any other administrative matters.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're
I really
welcome.
appreciate.
You're also welcome to email us also at our office here.
Yes, I have just shared our email addresses for myself, Sinayo, and Adira. Should you have more questions that you need clarity with, just email us and then we'll deal with that directly. And
Okay.
I just wanted to ask Olita, if she's still around, that in situations of where a student needs an assistance with the repatriation, what is the role of the embassy?
Repatriation in case of death?
Yeah, it can be in case of death or illness,
In most instances, I think that it is your requirement that the students come with a return ticket in case of sickness. Okay. So what we do, if we are informed, we actually liaise also with the airline and to be able to get the student facilitated in that case. We never had a problem because most of the student that comes here, they come with a guarantee of a return ticket. So in that, when we are informed by the learning institution, we directly deal with the airline concerned and then we assist the student accordingly. And
unfortunate events of death?
It's a long process. In that case, the family gets involved as well. I think that most of the medical insurances that you take for students, they also offer repatriation in case of death as well. So we use that clause for the repatriation. But first we will take the fingerprinting, get on the death certificate and do all the processes. And then the person gets repatriated in that case.
All right. No, thank you so much. Yeah. Do we still have any question? Because in any case, we was at 15 minutes exceeded our time. So I think maybe we can pack it here. And I just want to thank everyone who joined us this afternoon. Thanks to Olita for partaking. Thanks to Hannah for sharing the university inserts, and also Sifeziwe for joining us this afternoon as a Dash alum. So and thanks to Yuba for opening the session, and thanks to my colleague Adera and Sinayo. And just before we part ways, you guys are free to engage with us on our social media pages. We are NESO South Africa on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and also on YouTube. And this session was recorded and is going to be shared via our social media, via our YouTube channel. So I will share the link with you guys, and you are more than welcome to view it on our YouTube page. And also this the slides will be shared with you as a follow-up email. And for those who were unable to attend, will also get to have a share of the slides and the link to the session. Thank you so much, guys. Have a lovely afternoon, and all the best to everyone who's going to study in the Netherlands.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Please stay in touch.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michelle.